In the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, on January 15th, 1929, a boy was born who would change the course of history. Martin Luther King Jr. grew up in the segregated South, where racism was not hidden, it was the law. His father, a Baptist minister, taught him the power of faith and the courage to speak out. Martin was a gifted student who skipped grades and entered college at just 15 years old. Yet even as he excelled, he could never escape the sting of discrimination, from being told he couldn't play with white friends to being forced to the back of buses. He went on to Morehouse College, then studied theology at Crozer Theological Seminary, and at Boston University he discovered the writings of Mahatma Gandhi, whose philosophy of nonviolent resistance became the foundation of his own fight for justice. In Boston, he also met Coretta Scott, a talented singer who shared his passion for equality. They married in 1953 and began a family. In 1955, when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus, her arrest ignited the Montgomery Bus Boycott, and at just 26 years old, Martin Luther King Jr. was chosen to lead it. For more than a year, black residents walked miles to work, refusing to ride segregated buses, and despite threats, arrests, and violence, their determination prevailed when the Supreme Court declared bus segregation unconstitutional. That victory made Martin a national leader. He helped form the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, uniting churches in the fight for equality. Through marches, sit-ins, and powerful speeches, he called for justice without hatred, but his path was dangerous. His home was bombed, he was arrested more than 20 times, and he lived under constant death threats. In 1963, he led protests in Birmingham, Alabama, one of the most segregated cities in the nation. Peaceful demonstrators were met with fire hoses and dogs, shocking the country. And from his jail cell, King wrote his legendary Letter from a Birmingham Jail, declaring, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." That same year, more than 250,000 people gathered in Washington, D.C., for the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, where King delivered his most famous words.
I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
It became a defining moment in American history. The pressure of the movement led to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, outlawing segregation in public places, and that same year, at just 35 years old, King became the youngest man to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. But the struggle was far from over. King turned his focus to poverty, workers' rights, and opposition to the Vietnam War, positions that drew criticism from allies and enemies alike. On April 4th, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, while supporting striking sanitation workers, Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed on a motel balcony. He was just 39 years old. Yet the bullet that struck him could not kill his dream. His words still inspire movements around the globe, reminding us that courage, compassion, and persistence can change the world, and his dream of freedom, equality, and justice for all remains alive today.